One of the coolest experiences of my life. Now, as many of you guys know, I just recently competed in a bodybuilding competition, and it truly was one of the coolest things I've ever participated in. Now, I won't keep you guys waiting until the very end or anything weird for the results. I'll just tell you right now. So I ended up getting third place in both of the classes I participated in, this being True Novice and the Open class. The feeling on stage was truly surreal. It was kind of funny when I walked out there and almost couldn't see anything past the stage because the lights were so bright. And anytime that, whether I was on stage with someone else or by myself, anytime I heard any sort of cheering in the audience, whether it was for me or not, I just kind of tried to tell myself, yo, yeah, that's for me, that's for me. So I tried to get all hyped about it. I was having fun, smiling up on stage. It was really, really cool. So my overall thoughts on how everything went was really cool. Just the fact that I was able to step out of my comfort zone, and I've always wanted to do a bodybuilding show, just at least compete in one, whether it be if I really tried to take it seriously or just for fun. And this time, the fact that I was able to step out of my comfort zone and just be up on stage competing against people with these insane physiques was really cool, really great experience. One thing that was super cool was that after the competition, I got a lot of praise for my posing, and this literally being my first show, not knowing how to pose. Of course, everyone, when you're taking like progress pictures and recording videos of yourself flexing, you kind of just flexing. You don't really truly know what you're doing all the time, and that's how I was. So I had to start learning posing basically from scratch within these 6 weeks, and it was a lot of fun. Being up there and afterwards having people come up to me and say, wow, you really didn't look like a true novice up there. You look like you've done this before. And I also got compliments on how I was smiling so much, because honestly, I genuinely was really just having a good time up there. And so I thought it was really cool that people were coming up to me saying, wow, your personality was great on stage. That was really cool. You look like you had a lot of fun, which I did. And I just thought that was really, really cool.
I want to show her.
Oh, fuzz bucket. One thing that actually took me a little bit by surprise was the fact that the fellow competitors and just people in that whole atmosphere in general were extremely nice. Like, super helpful, very nice, very supportive, even if we were going against each other. And it's like, wow, I'm going to be up on stage competing against you, and you're building up my motivation right now. Like, you're being kind to me, you're helping me out, you're giving me the ins and out of how all this works. It was really, really unique, honestly. It wasn't really like other sports I used to play growing up, where it's kind of like, yeah, screw the other team, whatever, like, we hate them. And it was really, really, I felt a really strong sense of community during the whole thing. So it was really cool. I kind of met like some bodybuilder friends along the way. Followed a bunch of them on Instagram, all of them that I could find at least. And one thing that I realized also when I was competing was that size does matter. Make all your jokes in the comments. I actually ended up being one of the lightest and quite possibly one of the youngest people competing in the whole show. Most definitely in my division for sure. And I really thought, since my posing was so much more on point than a typical true novice, I actually thought that would help carry me a lot more. But it turns out size really does make a difference. When you're standing on stage next to people anywhere between 10, 15, 20 pounds heavier than you, you do look a lot smaller than them, even if you are very defined. And so that's one thing that I think I could focus on, is really increasing my size as much as possible. But yeah, overall posing, learning how to actually pose really does make you look cool. And shout out to all the people I competed against, and honestly everybody there. Really great people, great posing out of them, great physiques out of all of them, phenomenal, insane people, insane legs, insane arms, veins going everywhere. Really just impressive all around by all the competitors. Yeah, the experience overall was really awesome. I actually had adrenaline coursing through my body for maybe 3 days even after the event. So much to the point where I was exhausted every single day. Like, my body was just worn out. I was in bed, stayed in bed as long as possible, went to bed early, and I was still, my brain was just running the whole time, just thinking about, wow, what a cool experience, being up on stage, being surrounded by such great people. Really just, my brain could not shut off, to the point where I felt like it was torturous trying to fall asleep, because my body was like, yo, just shut up, go to bed. But my brain could not stop running. So as far as the prep goes, leading up to the event, I ended up joining a lot later than what the typical bodybuilder is supposed to. I signed up 6 weeks out, meaning I signed up about half the time left that most people signed up at. Bodybuilders usually start preparing anywhere between 12 to sometimes extremes of 16, 20 weeks out. And I joined at 6, so it was very last minute, and I was coming off of a bulk, as you guys saw in the past few videos. So I've been trying to not only keep whatever size I could keep on, but lose fat in the process. And this is very hard to do in general. And I'm really happy I was at least able to look somewhat competitive on such a short notice. With that being said, it was a little bit stressful at times, mostly because, especially at the start, I was kind of just in this mindset of, holy crap, I need to start cutting my weight right now. Getting a little bit of flashbacks to wrestling. And I ended up dropping my food way too much, too fast, and not having energy for my workouts and not having energy in general. And so I realized that I have to find this nice balance between trying to maximize my workouts through whatever carbs I can, whatever I can eat, but I just had to really minimize my portions in general without completely taking a bunch of stuff out of my diet as a whole. Of course, right after the competition, as all smart, fun bodybuilders do, you go grub, you go enjoy yourself after the competition. We went to go get all-you-can-eat sushi after, and stuffed our faces for a bit, got some boba after that, and really just enjoyed ourselves for that night. My family, my girlfriend, friends, we all just kind of hung out, and it was a lot of fun. And then right as I got home, I showered, got all the tan off me. By the way, I've never been that dark in my life. And I was in bed, I think around maybe 6:30 at night, maybe 7. Super early into the night. And for a while, I've started to become more of a night owl anyways. So I was in bed before even regular people were in bed. And I really was just trying to rest up as much as possible. But once again, my brain just kept going, so much fun, the experience, and so on. So now for the real question, would I do it again? Well, I do think I'm going to compete again, for a few reasons. First of all, I played sports my whole life. I don't really play any sports anymore, so competing again just felt like it was kind of just giving me the nostalgic feeling in terms of what it feels like to compete again, to prepare for a competition. Very cool feeling. And plus, this is something that you could kind of just do for a very long time. This is a very longevity-based sport, as opposed to sometimes like with football, you can't exactly compete competitively all the time, especially with pads on and whatnot. So yeah, I think this just seems like a really fun sport for me in general. And something that, I've been lifting for over a decade now. So it's just something that I could do to somewhat better myself and kind of have this goal set out for me. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that it was very expensive overall for the one competition. This is with signing up, becoming an NPC member, getting into multiple classes, the tanning, the posing trunk, just everything really in general. And so it does turn out to be a little bit expensive, and it is very taxing on your body. So I don't know when the next time I am going to compete is, but I would definitely love to do it again. So with that in mind, I think some things that I really need to work on, of course, are my size, which is of course one of the hardest things, genetically speaking, to change on your body, especially when you're trying to be defined and pack on muscle, main gaining, if you will. And then the other thing I could really work on is starting my cut or just committing to the competition way sooner than 6 weeks out. At least 12 weeks out at a minimum to start dieting, to truly get cut, maintain the size. That's one thing that could probably make a huge difference as of next time. And it'd be a little bit less stressful because I'm taking it slowly over time. I don't necessarily have to try to have this goofy mentality of trying to crash diet and then like, oh crap, I went too low, now I have to jump up a bit. I'm like, oh, well now I'm getting pudgy. So it's kind of just, I have a longer time to snake my way through trying to find that easy balance between eating, working out, cardio, and so on. Overall, I felt like I actually kept a decent size for my body on stage. I started leading up to the competition about 2 or 3 days in advance. I started losing size. This got me a little bit worried, so I kind of just bumped up my food intake a little bit to try to fill out a little more. And so I think I did decently well with keeping size. I felt pretty shredded overall. I'll be honest, when I was in the back after the pre-judging, I was just having such a good time. I was literally just smiling, just sitting there, just eating like rice cakes and like M&Ms and just like fun stuff, just having fun really, just enjoying myself. And so even when I went out on stage for my individual posing routine, I was like, wow, I might be a little bit bloated right now, I'm not exactly sure. But it really just, I wasn't even bothered. I felt really good, I had a lot of fun. There's a few times on stage where I thought I was actually going to cramp up, so I had to kind of ease up on the flexing and just kind of let the posing take over. So all in all, this was an amazing, phenomenal experience. I'd love to do it again. Huge shout out to my parents, Gary Udit, my girlfriend, everybody, Andreas, everybody that helped me prepare for this mentally, kept me in check while I was cutting, trying to keep my mood up, keep me happy, motivating me. Shout out to all of the competitors there, the ones I talked to, the ones I didn't talk to. You guys were really, really cool. Super, super intelligent, fun people to talk to, very motivational. In fact, if it weren't for them, I'm pretty sure the reason I would like to compete again is just based off the whole atmosphere in general. So many cool people around, and being a brand new person in that atmosphere, they kind of just really took you under their wing really quickly, and that was really cool to me. With that being said, guys, please subscribe to the channel if you are new, smash the like button down below, and be sure to throw all your inappropriate comments in the comment section. I'd love to read them, give me something to do. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
You're so pretty.